What's up, everyone? Curtis here with another episode of Everything Entrepreneurial. In this episode, I'm speaking with Alice Chepeau. In 2019, Alice decided to start a side business to do something she can really enjoy, be proud of, and offer in the mid-term for more flexibility around her family. Gentlehands Holistic Therapies is born offering holistic and sports massage. Alice is a wife and a mum of two. She loves food, wine, fantasy movies, yoga, nature, and lots of alone time. Okay, so let's get straight into the episode.
Cool. Okay, Alice, thanks very much for taking the time out of your day to come on Everything Entrepreneurial. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your business?
Sure, thank you, Curtis, for having me. So I'm Alice. I am French. I've been in Ireland for the past 12 years. And I started my massage business in January 2019 as a side business. I was still working full time. And I had to stop because of COVID and because of pregnancy, as you can see. And that's when COVID hit, I wanted to look into what else could I do, I definitely wanted to go through to my own, opening my own business and having it for full time and not being incorporated anymore. And so I figured that because I was going through pregnancies, my second pregnancies, I was going through loads of mindset change, loads of personality development and stuff like that. I figured that was something that was really interesting to me. So I started to take courses on coaching and on pregnancies in order to really support those women in the stage that I am at the moment. Sorry.
That's no problem at all.
So I have developed my coaching business, and also I'm doing gentle birth workshops. So it's all about mindset. In both sides, it's about mindset, how to look at the positive side of things and how to, grow yourself into being more assertive, more confident, and ultimately having the life that you really want instead of just an okay life. So my idea is to support women who are, especially very busy women, who want to go from an okay life to just like an extraordinary life with kids. So you have a choice in life. You always have choice. Yeah. And it's you to take actions to actually make it happen. I figured that the hard way. So I want to support those women in an easier transition, let's say.
That sounds brilliant. I'm actually really interested in finding out a little bit about your backstory and maybe why you came to Ireland, if you want to share that, because the whole point of this podcast is to figure out at what point did the entrepreneur realize that they wanted to be an entrepreneur, and was there anything in their past that led them to walk this path? So if you could tell us a little bit about why you moved to Ireland, and tell us a little bit about that, and maybe a bit of your personal background, that would be great.
Sure. So I did a business school, and I've always been very interested in traveling. So I chose a school where I could do half time in France studying and half time going abroad and traveling. Nice. While studying. And when I finished my degree in 2008, I came back from 6 months from Malaysia, and I was like stuck in France. There were no job, and I was brand new in the market. And I figured, I want to go back somewhere. Ireland seemed to be, I always wanted to be in Ireland. So I found something in Belfast. I actually landed in Belfast to start with for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I also lived in Uri. I've done loads of different jobs, just finding my ways. At that time, when you just graduate, you just don't really know. I didn't know what I wanted. So I just did loads of different jobs and climbing the ladder and finding corporate job. I ended up in Dublin working for IBM. But deep down, even when I was young, when I had to do it's a report, I don't know, for the year end of university.
Like a thesis?
A thesis. I had to do a thesis, and I actually created a business plan for a wine bar. At that time, I wanted to have my wine bar. I don't know why, but I already had that thought that at the end of my life, I would have my own business. Yeah. But I was not in a state where I was able to do it. I had no clue. I was searching myself. So I just went on with life, just trying to reach, finding new things that I really enjoy.
Was there any influence in your life when you were growing up, maybe like a parent or an uncle, auntie? Was there any business owners in your family, or
Yeah,
even?
my dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant!
my dad.
So you've seen growing up what it was like to manage and run a business.
Yeah, and it's not easy. So I don't know why I was still looking for it, because it was not easy. But I guess it's just my independence. I'm an only child, and I love to be independent. And I, just like my dad, we don't really like being given orders. If I can say, I like to do things on my own. It just feels more true to myself, because at least I do it. If something goes wrong, it's my fault, and I don't have to go into my clients saying I can't do this because X and Y that I don't know has decided for you. I don't like that kind of
Yeah,
relationship.
you like the accountability and the responsibility, and that's a real strong it's a strong way to have happiness in your life. If you have a lot of accountability and you're responsible for things, that brings a lot of happiness. So entrepreneurs do kind of like that sense of control or accountability. So that's probably one of the traits. And the fact that your father was in business, that's brilliant.
Yeah. And
Okay.
what really switched me is when I had my first kid. I was definitely not happy in corporate. I was just not finding my ground. It was just not for me. And I had my son, and I needed flexibility. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's time for me to start doing something. Obviously, always the fear of failure, the fear of financial fears, loads of things
Yeah.
like that. So I just started slow by doing a diploma in massage therapy. So it was a year diploma. Then I opened my business. It didn't require that much funds to start. So that was like confidence, like security for me.
Yeah.
And I just grew this up slowly. And fortunately with COVID, it kind of stopped completely. And I did a lot of personal, and through all this time, since my kid is here, I've done a lot of personal research. I wanted to show up as a better mom, because I was so anxious, so nervous, so annoyed at everything. So I was like, that's not the way I want to show up for my kids. So that's also why I went through all this route of entrepreneurial, because it's something I want, and doing a load of self work, inner work, that is really me, to where I want to be, and I'm still growing every.
I believe fully in what you're saying. Self-development and work. I've done it constantly since the start of my career, my early teens and everything. I've really worked on myself, my confidence, like the fear of failure, overcome that, rejection. Like when you're in business and you're like on a service business, we run a digital agency. Clients might not be interested in working with us, and you have to kind of handle that. And it was very difficult at the start. You feel rejected and stuff like that. How did you overcome those emotional feelings? Because a lot of first-time entrepreneurs experience that. How did you tackle that?
Well, it's just trying. That's what I do in my coaching, is actually trying to understand the deep cause of why you're fearing it, because usually the fear of failure is there's something greater to that. And it's all come back to yourself. You want to show up as knowledgeable, or you want to show up as there's loads of different ways. So it really is, for me, was getting some accountability partners, someone that could pull me up, because doing on my own is difficult. And it's just always going into myself and saying, okay, why am I feeling that way? What's stopping me from it? And trying to change my thoughts, or change my thought patterns, to figure out, okay, I'm afraid of it, but I'm not going to die, and trying to find ways of switching it. And it takes time. It's not something that you can do overnight. It's just you rewire your brain all the time. And the fear of failure is like, for instance, until last November, I would never do videos. I felt I didn't like it at all. But then, I've been told progress over perfection, and it's the only way you can learn. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. It's going to be like very, very hard for me, but I'm going to do it, because I know it's the only way for me to pass with this fear and to actually change. If you don't take actions, if you don't change the way you think, you're never going to change your life. So it is just accepting that and taking actions, and whatever you fear, just try it once, try it twice, slowly, the way you feel like it, and it's just going to become natural, and you're going to start shifting your mindset. But it's work in progress. It's not something that you can achieve overnight, I guess. I don't think.
Yeah, that's good advice. I hope a lot of first-time entrepreneurs or even people starting out take that advice on board and like don't fear failure. Failure is okay. Like you can't win everything. We fail multiple times a day at a lot of things, and you just kind of get over it. You have to kind of roll with the punches, I suppose. But I think you only learn that with experience as well.
Yeah, and you have to fail to learn to say, okay, that's not working, so let me try another way. If you don't fail, you always visualize, or you always dream of something, you always think that's of something, but you're never going to take action. And actually, you don't know how until you do it. You don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
And that's the way you like. But I think it's the fear of failure, rejection is just like the pride in yourself, saying people reject me and they don't understand me.
Yeah.
But actually, obviously you're not going to be liked by everyone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to be true with yourself. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be true with yourself, and you will attract the people that resonate with you and want to work with you. And as long as you are really yourself, you'll get the people you need.
So in relation to your business going through COVID, obviously you had help. Was there any type pivot that you done in your business? Did you work on your online presence? Did you start creating more content? Did you create more digital packages for your clients or potential audience? Could you talk us through how you manage dealing with COVID, and then what your plan is coming out on the other side?
Yeah, well, COVID it helped me in a way of looking at other horizons, but at the same time, I'm really not a social media person. I am I'm in the service. I am in holistic massage and stuff. So I like the one-on-one and being with people. So being in front of a camera or behind a post, it really is not my thing. But obviously, it's the only way at the moment. So I'm doing a bit, but again, I was saying, being true to yourself, and I'm not going to do over content because it's just not me and I just don't like it. So I'm doing a bit of presence. I'm doing a bit of, I'm trying to have like a container in Facebook group to support people, because I'm just giving stuff on Instagram for me doesn't bring any value much. So I'd rather give support, give advice on a one-on-one or on a small container where people really see the value and can really learn, know me, rather than just those posts. So it is at the moment for me, it really is finding that balance of I need to grow my business, I need to grow my audience, but at the same time, I don't want to force myself into doing contents and things like that I don't enjoy, and that it's taking so much time, especially with two young kids. It's also finding a balance. I have to set my boundaries. I have to find my way, and that's the way I want to lead my business. It's just like not doing things that doesn't resonate with me. And if it takes longer, I accept that, because, well, at the moment also I will still have my job, my full-time job. So I'm not in a financial crisis. So maybe if I was without a job at all, I would look at things differently. But I'm taking it step by step, and I really want to stay honest with myself and the way I want to do it. So yeah. So a bit content, but more container, and I would rather have people coming to me and asking for advice. I will give happily free advice or free support rather than just posts online.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's the only way you can really build deep relationships. If you do have, like you say, a small container, you get to know one another, you get to form a small community. Everyone has the same goals and aspirations and everything like that. So I think it's like you're saying is, it's the right way to go about it, I feel. I'm just wondering about when you were actually starting your business or still working, did you have much support from friends and family about this whole idea of starting a business? Like, were people rallying behind you, wishing for you to succeed? Because some people don't get that support. So I'm just interested in hearing what your experience was.
Yeah, so my family is all about security. So, everybody's like worried of, you have a stable job, you're doing great in your current corporate job. So you have to be careful. And, so it was always on the security side of things. And not that they were not supportive. They were like, if it feels right to you, do it. But as well, you could hear that, keep your job until you're secure, and don't jump into the unknown. So that's also how I was raised, kind of. So obviously I'm not going to take big risks, which sometimes is the only way to really grow quickly and better. But so yeah, no, I mean, my husband was fine with me doing my courses, doing whatever, as long as I could continue supporting the family the way we were doing with a corporate job. So so yeah, there's support, but at the same time a bit of pushback on saying be careful and make sure that you don't lose all our money.
I understand, because people, I experienced them when I was starting a business. People aren't in our brains, they're not in our heads, they don't have they don't see the opportunities the way we see the world, that way. So it can be hard for people to see the future and a few steps down the line. But yeah, no, I've had a very positive group around me, so I'm very lucky with. And in relation to you building your network, do you work on connecting with many people? Do you go to any events?
So I've started to meet people through my courses I'm doing. So we are doing a lot of networking. Obviously, again, it's all about meeting people through websites that I don't really know how to do that so well. I probably should join the Women Network in Ireland and do more of that. I think that's probably a fear as well of putting myself out there more than I probably am comfortable with at the moment. So so no, I haven't been doing a big network yet, and I'm sure there's something I have to do. And I really hope that COVID is over so I can really go to the event and face to face again. That's what I'm missing.
I really miss that as well. I'm such a people person.
Yeah. So, like you put a post offering to do a podcast and like, yeah, let's do it. That's the way I'm going to start. And I just answers to those kind of requests. On Instagram, it seems that I only attract other businesses. So that's the way I've meeting loads of people and doing podcasts and doing just chat and offering support at the moment. So I probably should step up a bit more though.
I've been interviewing a few other business women just before yourself over the last couple of weeks, and they've all said how important their network has been to ground their business. I've been very bad over the past year with networking. I've kind of grown my business to a point where I work in my business, not on my business. So I'm stuck doing the day-to-day tasks. So that's why I restarted this podcast. It would give me an opportunity to meet people like you, business owners and stuff. So I think this year one of my big goals is just to network more. I'm going to have a look for myself into different networking groups. I'm just going to try and get out there. And like yourself, as soon as COVID is over, I'm going to be going to almost any event I can get my hands on, because I love the face-to-face interaction. You can't beat it.
Yeah, and we miss it anyway. Even if we didn't like it that much before, I think we're missing it so much that we just look forward to that. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So what does the next 6 to 12 months look like for yourself, both personally and in your business?
So I enrolled a year certification on inner work and shadow work and coaching. So I'm going to deepen my knowledge, and I'm going to offer that knowledge throughout my business. And well, I'm supposed to go back from maternity leave. So I'll see how that goes, because that is like a big jump, like I would love to be able to kind of have my own business by that time. And it's just like you said, I'm going to obviously go more on networking. I'm going to continue doing what I do. And I just trust that, things will come to me as they should come on time. Yeah. So by the end of the year, I'm really comfortable. I'm really confident that I will have my full-time business. I would be enjoying, and I would be in a much better place personally, like I say, doing my inner work. And I would be then looking at new opportunities for business, adding stuff and adding retreats. I would love to do retreats, to have those women coming together and having a holistic approach on health. So massage and inner work, coaching. So I really look forward to creating that.
Jeez, I might go myself.
Yeah, well, it could. Yeah, it's true that I was focusing on women, but I think over time maybe it's just a comfort thing having just women around. But yeah, I think retreat is something that I would really love to do. So by the end of the year, I hope starting creating my retreats.
That sounds really good. Well, I look forward to following you on your journey. And anyway, I'm going to add you on all the social networks, LinkedIn, and if you have anything that you'd like to promote, always just get in touch with me, and I'll pass it out to my network. Hopefully, people will get involved. If people do want to find you online, what's the best place to find you? Is it your website or social media? Tell us.
Yeah, well, I have my front page on Facebook where you have all the details. My Instagram, my group, and my website. So my first name is Alice Chepeau. So just if you type Alice Chepeau, my page and my personal page are both public. So you can find me there and find all the information and reach out if they need any information or whatever. I'm always happy to help.
Brilliant stuff. Well, once again, thanks very much for taking the time out of your day to have a chat with us. Had great crack with you, and thanks very much for speaking with us, Ari.
Thank you so much, Chris. It was nice to talk to you. Bye-bye.